Hi, I'm Amy Rowe, and I'm here to talk to you today about a few things you can do to help make the transition from high school to college a little bit easier. So let's start. So, first, it's always a great idea in the summer before you start to follow your college's social media accounts. Follow them on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. I don't really know if you can follow things on Snapchat because I'm not really a Snapchat kind of girl, but go right ahead if you can follow them on that. Follow them. This is a great way for you to find out about important information, important dates, things that they want you to know about. And often in the summer before the school year begins, they're talking directly to you, first year students. Similarly, it can be really helpful to just go to the student life or the campus life website of whatever school you're planning to go to. Typically, every college website has something that says, um, for students. This one in particular says campus experience. So go to that and then look at their college events or campus life. Find out the kinds of things that your school offers. Often there will be links to different groups that you can join. There's usually a campus events calendar that will tell you different things that are happening. This is a great site to bookmark because it's one that you're going to want to come back to when you're actually in college. It's always really helpful to introduce yourself to your college roommate. And sometimes that's a really scary thing because you're not really sure what to say or how to say it. Really, just send a quick text saying what your name is, where you're from, maybe what you want to major in, and a couple of small things about you. It doesn't really have to be anything major. And then give them your number. They probably already have it if you've texted them. And then if you want to, you can give them your Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever handles. So go on and do that. That would be a great thing for you to do before the school year starts. Another really good thing for you to do, and your parents will really love that you did this, is to program the campus police or the campus safety department number into your phone. I cannot tell you how many times this has saved me working on college campuses. Okay, well, that makes it sound like campuses are really scary, and they're not. But when you're in the middle of something, emergent where you might need to reach out to campus police, the last thing that you can think to do is figure out how to find that number. So it can be really alarming to be in that moment where, maybe your car has been broken into or, something has happened on campus, someone's been hurt, and you don't know how to get a hold of the campus police. So program it into your phone so you have it. Also, if your campus utilizes blue lights are typically little stations that you can go to and they dial directly to either the campus police or the main police station. Know where those are. They're usually marked with blue lights, thus the name Blue Light Phone. So that would be a great thing for you to do prior to getting on campus, because once you get on campus, you're probably going to forget completely about it until you actually really need it. And then you'll be like, oh crap, Amy told me to put this in my phone and you didn't do it. Don't be that person. Just put it in now. Okay, another great tip for you is to pack additional chargers. So, chargers for your phone, chargers for your laptop, for your tablet, whatever, get extras. So, and maybe not just one or two, maybe three of them. One of them should be kept in a really visible location. So, your extra, hang it on the wall, or, it's the first thing when you look in your desk drawer or, your bedpost, whatever. But someplace where if you are in an emergent situation and you really need to plug something in, you can quickly find that. One you should definitely keep with your device, and the other you should keep maybe in your school bag, so that if you get to class and you pull out your laptop and all of a sudden you realize you're only at, you know, 15% and you need to take notes, you have a charger that you can quickly grab. Also makes you super popular, especially if you have a charger that's fairly universal, because other people will end up forgetting chargers and needing something, and then you will be there to save the day and everyone will love you. So trust me, it's a game changer. So now I want to talk to you about some things to do for your first week on campus. So, first things first, I think it's really important that you know where some key places are. You should know where your academic advisor's office is. So your advisor's probably already been assigned, has probably already emailed you, or you have some sort of information someplace, you know, where they contacted you and told you that they were going to be your academic advisor. Find their office so that you know where to go when you need to talk with them, because sometimes in your first week of classes, you realize, oh, I really shouldn't be in this class. Or, you know, wait, what happens if I don't do well in this class? Because I think I'm going to be struggling. These are things that you can talk about with your academic advisor. So it's really important that you know where they are before it comes time to register for classes, which is typically around Thanksgiving. Also, know where your campus health center is. Usually, mental health counseling is there, physical health, everything that you're going to need to make sure that you're healthy and well. So, make sure you know where that is. If you're a student who utilizes accommodations, you should know where the disability services office is, especially because in your first week is probably when you're going to be setting up your accommodations. So, make sure that you know where that office is and how to contact your access consultant or disability services provider, so that you can make sure that your accommodations are in place for your classes. Know where to find both your RA and your hall director. So the RA is in charge of your floor. So it stands for resident assistant. Um, Whatever floor you're living on usually has 1 to 2 RAs who are responsible for making events, creating a sense of community, and then also making sure that students follow rules. Um, Also, each building typically has a hall director. You should know where that person's office is as well. Typically, your hall director also lives in your building and generally has an apartment somewhere, usually on the first floor. And then also, of course, know where your tutoring center is. And please, the minute that you start feeling like you're not doing well in a class, go to tutoring. You may never have used tutoring before in your life, but it needs to become a habit for you. I've managed tutoring programs, and I'm going to tell you that I have students who both tutor other students and use tutoring. It's really, really common because successful students are the ones that use the tutoring center. So don't be afraid to go to the tutoring center and use it, because maybe you're not, a history buff, and, you're really confused by trying to remember all of those dates, but you're also really awesome at statistics. You might use tutoring for one thing, and then you might actually become a tutor eventually for something else. So make sure you're utilizing that. I also want you to create a block schedule of your classes, and I want you to put it in a couple of places. So a block schedule is going to be a week at a glance, and it's going to tell you when every single class is and for how long it is. So a great place to go is Corsical, makes a really pretty college schedule. There's a little QR code. If you scan that with your phone, it'll take you directly to that website. And you can put in each class. You can color code it however you want. And then you can put in notes or other information that you might need. And then print it off and put a copy of it up near your desk where you study, put a picture of it on your phone, and then just keep a copy of it in your bag because sometimes your phone runs out of juice and you don't know where your next class is, and so you gotta quickly know where it is. So keep it in a couple of places. But this you'll find really helpful. And because it's someplace that you look every single day, you'll eventually memorize this and you'll know exactly where you're supposed to be. But this can be really helpful starting out. I think it's also really important in your first week to figure out where you are going to study. Yes, you can study in your dorm room. And some people are very successful at that. Most people aren't. I'm going to be honest with you. In your dorm room, you have access to things that could be distractions for you. Number one is your bed. Your bed is a huge distraction. Studying from your bed is going to lead to a nap. Studying from your desk is going to lead to a nap. Excuse me, my phone wasn't turned off. Um, Napping is inevitable if you study in your room. So don't study in your room. Go to maybe a coffee shop near or on campus. Go to the library. There's often really great places to study in your library. Lots of your campus buildings are going to have little spaces that they set aside for students to study. Find a place that really suits you. Maybe you need a place that is zero noise, zero distractions. And so you maybe are going to go to your college library and request a study room. Um, Maybe you're somebody that needs to have a low murmur of noise in the background and people around you also studying. Then maybe you're going to go to like a study space in the library. Maybe you're somebody who needs to have coffee, go to a coffee shop, whatever it is. But find a place, preferably outside of your room, that you can make your study spot. And then we talked about this before, but I think it's really important in your first week to meet with your disability services office. So you will, once you've registered with them, which hopefully you did already over the summer, you will meet with they might call them an access consultant, they might call them a disability services coordinator, they might call them something else, but you'll be assigned to someone who will be in charge of helping you decide what accommodations are appropriate for you, and then and then talking you through the process of requesting those accommodations. So when you go, you want to take, whatever your documentation is, your high school IEP, maybe you had a 504 plan, maybe you had a letter from your doctor. So maybe you suffer from migraines or you have anxiety and you work with a therapist. So you might, in those cases, you might not have had accommodations in high school, but are just requesting them now. And so then it would probably be a letter from a doctor. So take that with you unless you've already submitted it to them, and then think about what's useful and helpful for you, um, and go and speak to them. Understand that asking for accommodations is not like going to a restaurant and picking things off of a menu. You can't say, "Oh, wow, it looks like you offer priority registration. Well, I'd like that." You really would have to have a need for something like that. Um, Taking tests out of class, a quiet space to take exams, extra time on exams, note takers, whatever it is has to be justified by whatever your disability is. So if your disability is something like uh, IBS, for example. Why did I pick that as my topic? I don't know. But anyway, students have it. So maybe you have IBS. So that would make sense for you maybe to request a private space to take exams and possibly even extra time in case you actually needed to use the restroom during exams. However, requesting a note taker because you have IBS That doesn't make sense. A note taker wouldn't offset the symptoms of IBS in any way. So whatever you're requesting needs to make sense in terms of what your disability is. So think about that before you go so that you're ready to have that conversation with the disability consultant. And if you're not sure, your parents might be a good place to start, or talk to your coach from Fast Forward Coaching, because that is what we are here for. We're here to kind of talk you through and make those recommendations to you. I also really think, even before your classes start, typically during orientation week, I think you should map out your classes. And when I say map out your classes, I mean walk the path. And I mean walk the path as you're going to do it every single day. So if on Mondays you have psych in this building, and then you have math in this building, and then, accounting in another building, I want you to walk from one building to the next, because I want you to be able to find your way around that campus from each class that you're coming from, or from the class that you're coming from back to your dorm room, and then back then to the next class. Some campuses are huge. Some campuses are so big that you need to take buses to things. So you need to make sure that you know how to get to places before the first day, because while some professors are very understanding of your being late, others are not, even on the first day. And don't take the risk that you're going to be late because you didn't know how to get from point A to point B. The expectation is that you know when you start. And then I think it's important to check out your LMS, or your learning management system. So common ones that I've heard of are listed on the left, but your school might have their own learning management system. But essentially, most of you have used Google Classroom before. It is whatever your learning management system is going to be very similar to Google Classroom, in that it will have all of your courses listed. It will have a place for you to submit assignments. It will have a place for you to um, communicate with your professors. Everything is all in one place. You can look at your grades. You can pull up the syllabus for every single class. So get in there before classes start and know what this looks like and how to navigate it. Make sure you know how to find each class. Make sure that you've looked at all of the syllabi for every single class. Look and see if there's a calendar that posts upcoming assignments. I worked at a school that used Canvas, and I can't tell you the number of students whose minds were blown when I actually took them into the calendar and showed them that Canvas tracks all their assignments for them, and then will like, if they've submitted it, it'll cross it out for them. So your LMS system might do that for you. Know where you're going to upload or submit work. Know where you're going to find your grades. Just navigate it so you can kind of understand it a little bit. And then finally, but maybe the most important thing that I'm going to tell you is take every single assignment from every syllabus and write it into your calendar for your entire semester. So if you have 4 or 5 classes, fish out every single one of the syllabi. They generally are going to have either a calendar included, or the entire semester dates written down with due dates for all of the assignments. Put it in for the entire semester. Do not do it week by week. Do not do it for 3 months and then stop because you got bored with it. Just go ahead and do it for the entire semester. Separate things by color. Tests maybe are in red pen. Papers maybe are in blue pen, and regular assignments are in pencil, because those tend to be adjusted quite frequently. So you might need to be, erasing things as time goes on. But put them in. If you use a daily planner like this, like a handwritten planner, easy enough to do that. You could also use, I like Google Calendar. I find it very easy to use. Many schools actually will allow you to put the school's calendar right on top of your Google Calendar so you can have all the school events on there as well. So and that and then if you use Google Calendar, you can just type in all of your different assignments and you can color code those as well. So um, I think this is something that you will be so happy that you did, because chances are you're going to miss something if you're going back and trying to know what needs to be turned in by looking at your syllabus. You're not always going to have your syllabus easy access. You don't know in your head, you won't see that you have three things all due on the same day, but once you do this, you're going to see when you've got a tough week, so that you can plan accordingly for that. So this is really, really important. So if you do nothing else, please do this. And that is all I have for you. So thank you for watching this. All the material in this book was taken from the Sharing the Transition to College workbook, by Jennifer Sullivan and Jacqueline Connell. So if you liked what you saw, thank them because it came from them. All right, thanks and good luck in college.